Soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and military spouses are going to transition. But we have a job to get after this.
The one thing that has remained true is that our country over the years have seen great challenges, and each time our country comes back bigger, better, and stronger.
In Hiring Our Heroes, we know that our nation is at its best when we as communities come together to solve complicated social issues. When the private sector and the public sector work together to find solutions, we know that we can accomplish the most difficult task.
Good evening, and welcome to this year's 10th annual Hiring Our Heroes Lee Anderson Awards Gala and Dinner. We are honored that you could join us tonight and help celebrate the amazing accomplishments of organizations, individuals, and companies across this great country. This year, we've all seen our fair share of challenges, and those challenges at times seem to pit Americans against Americans. What makes us different versus what similarities we have that make this the greatest country the world has ever seen. Each day, Hiring Our Heroes has the privilege and honor of working with our service members and their families to help them find meaningful employment. We know that America's military, from day one of basic training, put aside their differences and focus on their teams and the principles that have made this country great. As we think about those common bonds and what makes this country so great, I can think of no better way to start this evening than with the singing of the national anthem.
Martin colors! Halt! Halt! Present! On! Oh. and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched, whistle gallantry streaming, and the rocket's red glare amongst the singing air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-speckled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Coast, right shoulder, on. Coast, coaster, march.
The awards gala is a very special night for hiring our heroes and our team. It allows us not only to celebrate some amazing accomplishments and work, but it allows us to have a little bit of fun and recommit to our important work on behalf of service members and their families next year and in the future. But COVID-19 has made us rethink and reimagine the way that we do business. We've had to move many of our efforts to a virtual platform. That hasn't affected, as you saw from the video, the amazing quality of that work. And tonight's event is no different. While we're having to move to a virtual platform, it doesn't impact our ability to celebrate those amazing accomplishments over the year or to have a little fun. Let me start out by thanking our sponsors for tonight's event. First and foremost, our presenting sponsor, USAA. Let me also thank our platinum sponsors, Capital One, Comcast NBC Universal, Phillips 66, Prudential, Toyota, and our gold sponsor, Lockheed Martin. We couldn't do what we do tonight or each and every day on behalf of our service members and their families without your support and the support of all of our sponsors. So thank you. I'd also like to recognize a couple of individuals who were instrumental in making this program happen and grow into what it is today. And first and foremost, let me recognize Lee Anderson. Lee and his wife Penny were the ones who provided the initial seed funding that allowed the idea of hiring our heroes, that idea that Kevin Schmiegel had back in 2011, grow into what it is today. And so we wouldn't be where we are today but for that tremendous support. So Lee and Penny, we're really honored that you can join us tonight and really thankful for that. That commitment back then, but more importantly, that ongoing commitment over the years. It's really making a difference. Thank you. I'd also like to recognize for just a second the Chief Executive Officer of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Thomas J. Donahue. As everybody knows, that vision, Kevin's vision back in 2011, really was able to materialize based on the support and the leadership of Tom as the CEO of the Chamber. Tom, as for anyone who's met Tom, knows that he has a real passion for helping service members and really recognizes the commitment that those service members and their families make on behalf of all Americans each and every day. Tom has continued that support each and every day since 2011. It has continued throughout our time here. And, it's one of those real passion projects for Tom, something that I know that he knows it's the backbone of the chamber. It's something that makes us unique and different, and it's one that is doing some amazing stuff across the entire country. Tom, I from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you for your leadership and your support. It allows us to do what we need to do, and we're really honored to have you here join us tonight. I'd like everyone to welcome the CEO of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Thomas J. Donahue.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to be with you this evening to recognize our Hiring Our Heroes program and the extraordinary work it has done for so many years now. We're entering our 10th year of serving transition services to members, to veterans, to military spouses, and to many, many people who depend on our military every day. The program was launched in 2011 to combat a nationwide crisis in veterans' unemployment. In the early years, Hiring Our Heroes focused on efforts on events and hosted more than 800 events introducing people soon to leave the military to representatives of companies around the country. It launched then, after that, hiring 500,000, a campaign to get 500,000 hired from the military and spouses in 3 years. Well, like everything else we did and do, we employed and had 700,000 people employed. More recently, the Hiring Our Heroes shifted its focus to providing a full range of programs, training, and events to ensure that veterans and military spouses are well prepared to get into the workforce when they leave the service. For those veterans with the right skills, Hiring Our Heroes created an internship program called Corporate Fellowship Programs that allowed the highly skilled veterans to transition directly into business, often with six-figure salaries. For those that needed additional skills, it developed and partnered with companies in a skill and reskill training program. And military spouses were particularly paid attention to, and they had training in IT, cyber, transportation, solar, all kinds of issues that made them eligible for good jobs. The companies that were involved in that, or a lot of them are engaged in what we're doing right here tonight: Microsoft, Amazon, Salesforce, the Department of Veterans Affairs and their Vet Tech program, 1150 Academy, and Skillstorm. Hiring Our Heroes also doubled down on its efforts to help military spouses who continue to face and have more unemployment, sometimes getting up to 20% more unemployment than the veterans themselves. So with local community action groups and networks and training pipelines, we worked on the project. All of that paid off this year when COVID hit. HOH quickly marshaled its resources, converted many of its efforts to virtual programs like we're doing here right now, and expanded its training opportunities. Next year, in my view, we will top all of these accomplishments as it continues to innovate and help world-class military talent as they search for and find meaningful careers. Hiring Our Heroes not only leads in connecting veterans and military spouses to pathways to long-term careers, it is providing a blueprint for talent acquisition, especially for individual companies that want to keep finding and hiring skilled talent from the military. One last note and awareness that I want you to have. You know that tonight you'll be honoring Howard and Sherry Schultz with the 2020 HOA President's Award for Lifetime Achievement for their long-standing and very successful commitment to veterans and military spouses, especially as they search for and find careers post-military. Listen, what has been done here by the people at this meeting over the last 10 years is a absolutely extraordinary accomplishment for thousands and thousands and thousands of military retirees and spouses, and for this country, and for lots of companies throughout this country that desperately need this talent. Keep up the good work. Let's do another good 10 years, and God help us, maybe we'll be back with you then. Thank you very much.
Tom, thank you for those remarks, and thank you for your ongoing support and commitment on behalf of our service members and their families. It is now my honor to introduce our first keynote speaker of the night. Please welcome General James McConville, the 40th Chief of Staff of the Army, and his wife, Maria.
Hello, I'm Maria McConville. It's so great to be with you here today. I am truly grateful for those who inspire and hire our Army veterans and family members. What you do is vitally important to our soldiers, spouses, and families.
And I'm Jim McConville, Chief of Staff of the United States Army. Thank you to all those who connect veterans, transitioning service members, and military spouses with meaningful employment opportunities. You help us take care of our families and our soldiers for life. Thanks for hiring America's best. In our Army, it's about people first, winning matters, and we remain Army strong.
It is now time to present our first award of the evening, the Capital One Small Business Award. To help us present and recognize this year's winner, please join me in welcoming Medal of Honor recipient and Toyota brand ambassador, Sergeant Dakota Meyer, United States Marine Corps, and Matt Crompton of Capital One.
Thank you, Eric. One of the core pillars to this country is small businesses. And ultimately, the true success for small business is the impact that it makes on the community, not only through the services they provide, but equally through the opportunities they create as well. This year's Small Business Award is sponsored by Capital One, and it's my honor to introduce my friend, Matt Crompton, who will be presenting our next award.
Thanks, Dakota. On behalf of Capital One, we wanted to take a moment here to recognize the small business owners across America who are veterans and military spouses. We know that you bring a deep sense of work ethic and success to the small business world. We really appreciate all that you do in your service to our country. So we have sponsored this award for small businesses over the past several years here. And it's my honor this year to introduce our recipients, and we'll kick off a video to show you a little bit about them before we do that. All right, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you from J-Dog Brands, Jerry and Tracy Flanagan, the recipients of this year's Small Business Award.
On behalf of J-Dog Brands, Tracy and I would like to thank Hiring Our Heroes for this most humbling award.
With over 200 franchises nationwide, we are honored to receive this recognition. At J-Dog, we do what we do every day, not to receive glory or to win awards. It is because we're passionate about our military veterans and our military family members and giving them an opportunity for business ownership and employment. Our mission is to provide a space exclusively for our veterans and family members to find purpose and camaraderie that they experience during their military service. Receiving this award is not only a blessing, but a way to continue to reach our military veterans and military family members, letting them know that there is a place for them at J-Dog Brands. Thank you again.
Thank you.
It's now time to present this year's NBC Universal Nonprofit Award winner. Please join me in welcoming Ed Carr from Comcast NBC Universal.
Hey everyone, I'm Ed Carr, Director of Military and Veteran Affairs from Comcast NBC Universal. Comcast NBC Universal is proud to partner with military community service organizations across the country. Veterans, service members, and military families rely on these organizations not only for the resources they provide, but also to find a sense of community. And we're honored to help these organizations in fulfilling their missions. I am proud to announce the finalists for the Nonprofit Award for Outstanding Support to Veteran and Military Spouse Employment. The finalists are Easter Seals, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. The Military Officer Association of America, Operation Gratitude, and the Wounded Warrior Project. And now, let's take a look at this year's winner. 3, 2,
We believe in the diversity of America and the opportunities that lay ahead to build a more inclusive and united society.
Together, our team will respond rapidly to an ever-changing environment. We will adapt as an organization to overcome adversity and meet the evolving needs of the communities we serve.
All right, please join me in congratulating Operation Gratitude as the 2020 recipient of the Nonprofit Award for Outstanding Support to Veteran and Military Spouse Employment. As we recognize Kevin Schmiegel, CEO of Operation Gratitude. Kevin, congratulations.
Wow, thank you so much, Ed, and thanks to Comcast NBC Universal. This is absolutely amazing. I can't believe it. This award is coming, thinking back to the first days of Hiring Our Heroes and meeting with Val Nicholas up at NBC Universal headquarters in New York City. This is amazing. Thank you.
Well-deserved, and keep doing great things. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. I am honored and humbled to receive this award on behalf of our unstoppable team and more than 1 million volunteers nationwide. It makes me so proud to see this intersection of two organizations that I care so much about, as well as the people I served alongside who helped build two action-oriented nonprofits that are bridging the civilian-military divide. Hiring Our Heroes bridge that divide in the private sector through a grassroots movement that demonstrates the value of veterans and military spouses in the workforce. Operation Gratitude is bridging that divide through a similar grassroots movement that brings communities together through a common bond of service and gratitude. Since February of 2018, we have grown from 13 employees to 32, from 1 veteran and 1 military spouse to 15 in total, almost half of our workforce, and 3 of them are Hiring Our Heroes corporate fellows. Our organization has more than doubled by every measure, but most importantly, in the number of heroes we impact each year, in part because of our veterans and military spouses. Thank you to the Chamber, to Hiring Our Heroes, to Comcast NBC Universal, and to Eric for recognizing Operation Gratitude's impact and believing with us that when it comes to bridging the civilian-military divide, that actions speak louder than words. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful night.
Congratulations, Kevin. Operation Gratitude is doing some amazing work across the country, and we're really honored to work with you on your mission. It's now my pleasure to introduce Tony Wells, the Chief Brand Officer for USAA and the presenting sponsor for tonight's event.
Good evening. USAA is honored to sponsor the 10th annual Hiring Our Heroes Awards Gala. In the fast pace of life in 2020, we often forget to stop and celebrate success beyond a text or a Zoom call. I thank Eric Eversole and the Chamber of Commerce Foundation team for carving out space to celebrate progress. I hold a deep passion for this work, not only because of my personal experience, but because it's at the heart of USAA's mission. We are grateful for the opportunity Hiring Our Heroes provides leading corporations to exercise their influence in raising up our community's customers and employees, which makes both good business sense and is the right thing to do. This worthy goal is personal for me because at 27 years old, I transitioned from being an officer of Marines to a very different world, finding a new mission, norms, values, and a different culture. It was a difficult transition, but I was lucky to have mentors and leaders who gave me not just one chance, but many. I've made a personal commitment to pay it forward. Arriving at USAA 3 years ago was like coming home, especially after being a member of USAA for 35 years. The team understands military culture. Every employee has had a taste of an MRE, done a session of PT, or celebrated a birthday of a military branch. I'm also proud to be part of our VetNet organization that creates a home for veterans who work at USAA. About 14% of our employees are veterans, and thanks in part to VetNet programs, our veteran retention rate hovers around 85%. As a company with a mission to facilitate the financial security of the military community, we feel it's our responsibility to pave the path for transitioning veterans and military spouses, not just at USAA, but across corporate America. It's why we've been partnering with Hiring Our Heroes since 2011, connecting over 150,000 veterans, transitioning service members, and military spouses with meaningful career opportunities. This year, the need was clear. Military spouse unemployment reached 30% at one point, according to Blue Star Families. The unemployment rate for veterans under 34 years of age is now 2 points higher than the national average. We jumped in early with support, including funding for Hiring Our Heroes as they turned their veteran transition training program to virtual sessions. We also made our largest one-time donation in our nearly 100-year history, providing $30 million in support to service members and veterans through organizations like the Military Aid Societies. The pandemic has created an opportunity for every business leader to play a role in our communities and in the lives of the customers we serve, producing the type of impact that we all benefit from. Not the least of which is supporting diverse talent pools that includes honorable men and women who have served in our military. This ensures we have employees who come in every day ready to reach their full potential and employees who are innovative and achieve greater results. I'm grateful that so many of us are taking on this challenge together. Now to what everyone's been waiting for, the winner of the USAA Military Spouse Employment and Mentoring Award. This award is presented to the organization that demonstrated hiring and support of military spouses in their search for meaningful employment. To help me reveal the 2020 winner for the USAA Military Spouse Employment and Mentoring Award, I'd like to call on USAA's Tampa VetNet Military Spouses.
I'm pleased to present the finalists of this year's Military Spouse Employment and Mentoring Award. Deloitte, First Command Financial Services, Werner Enterprises, and Zeiders Enterprises.
The winner is an organization that established a Military Spouse Advisor Council comprised of military spouses from each of its 5 divisions. This council provides input and advice to senior leadership on all matters impacting military spouses.
The winner is an organization that implemented an initiative to appoint a single person to provide concierge-type handling on all military spouse PCS moves. This detailer also created a comprehensive PCS guide that outlines a step-by-step process for losing offices and gaining offices, providing reassurance during the turmoil created by a PCS.
The winner is an organization that supports military spouses through its national and local support of the Military Spouse of the Year program, run by Armed Forces Insurance. In support of the 2020 program, they created their own challenge coin to honor national and local winners. So far, over 100 of these coins have been presented to deserving military spouses.
The winner has been designated a military spouse-friendly company for the past 5 years.
Congratulations, First Command.
Congratulations, First Command.
At First Command, our advisors are committed to coaching you towards a financial future worthy of your service. We're dedicated to coaching you from the start of your military career to retirement and beyond, at home or during deployment. For when things get tough and when times are good, Let us show you how we honor what matters most to you. It's time to get started today.
I want to thank Hiring Our Heroes for selecting First Command as the 2020 winner of the Military Spouse Employment and Mentoring Award. Our nation's military families regularly put their needs second to those of the country. That's especially true for our military spouses who deal with a variety of challenges to their career goals and dreams. We owe it to our military spouses to do all we can to make their lives better. That's a debt keenly felt by everyone at First Command. Our employees, advisors, and support teams, this is their award. For all of us at First Command, I thank you.
Congratulations, First Command.
Daddy.
Now, hold on for 1 second. Yes.
It's time for dinner.
All right, I guess it's time for dinner. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break. I hope you enjoy your dinner. Okay, we're going to take a dinner break. What's for dinner?
Pizza.
Well, it looks like we're having pizza. I'm not sure what you or your family are having, but I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be back in 10 minutes to kick off the rest of the awards for tonight. Enjoy.
So I actually started my fellowship with Booz Allen Hamilton on the military recruiting team. The fellowship was the first time where the military spouse identity that I had been carrying that almost felt like a burden, felt like a shiny gold cape. It was for the first time on its own a value add that I didn't have to explain. It was just me, Kimmy, and what I brought professionally. And that is not a dynamic that I have experienced at all since I've been part of the military world. And that was game-changing for me.
My service in the Army has given me something to be proud of.
My favorite part of the Marine Corps was definitely the guys that I served with.
Making some of the lifelong friends that I met.
The Army has taught me there's no I in team. We don't bash each other, we don't look down on each other, we always got each other back.
The Army has really influenced me as a person. When I got back home, I was able to bring some of the stuff that I learned and teach them to my siblings.
I am so excited to see your faces this morning. You guys are kicking off our first ever Military Technician Education and Network program.
The M10 program is an innovative 12-week program that takes active duty service members and provides them 12 weeks of basic automotive training.
You're bringing a great and unique skill set to the table here. And I think the skills that you learned in the military, you're going to find that you're going to use a lot of them here in this program.
I always had a fascination with cars, and I wanted to really get into the car industry. I was like, hey, I really want to do this. Not only do you get it in the classroom and like the small application things, you actually get to work on the car itself. And we're all taking it in, soaking all of it up as much as we can.
The culture here in Toyota is similar to the culture in the Army in the sense that there's diversity, there's different ways of thinking. No one is the same, and then everyone's got different stories.
The M10 program, it's been a massive help to me and my family transitioning out. It's going to line me up with a steady career.
It's leading me into a career that I actually enjoy. I would do everything in my power to succeed in this great career.
This is really setting me up with a job and hopefully a future that I'd like to get into.
It means a lot to me. It means financial stability and not to worry about bills or anything like that, so I can focus on my missions.
What I'm looking for from a new dealership is to be part of a team again. Having somebody there that's going to have my back as well as me having theirs.
Over the past few years, I've definitely seen the changes here at Phillips 66. Changes for the good.
Working for the greater good means doing what is the best for our customers and our company.
It's making something better not only for us, but others around us and the future.
What may be great for the company may not be so great for technology, but that's okay.
Creating environment of trust means being able to have the tough conversations.
It takes everybody working together.
And if someone's got a great idea out there, but they're afraid to bring it up, that's shame on us. And so we have to create an atmosphere where people feel comfortable to do that.
Because I'm saying, hey, I may be your leader, but also tell me what I can do to help you.
To seek different perspectives is to put down your own thoughts and ideals, to look at others and take that into account.
Many of our problems are not simple, because if they were, we'd solve them very easily. So we have to engage with different disciplines, get everybody's opinions and perspectives, and incorporate them into the best solutions.
Everybody's being heard and being seen.
It could be anybody that comes up with the next great idea for your department or for our company.
To achieve excellence starts with the foundation. So sometimes it takes a little failure to learn from it, and then once you learn from it, you take that failure and you grow from it and make it better than it was before.
You're going to push, push, push to get better every single day. That's what excellence is to me.
Everybody can aspire to be their best, but also help everyone else be their best.
The culture here is really why I'm still here, because people have always made it feel like this is home.
The people of Phillips are genuine, down-to-earth people.
Yes, I enjoy coming to work. Yes, I enjoy the company, and I enjoy the feeling that surrounds me whenever I walk through those doors.
We need to leverage our biggest asset, which is our people.
Work for the greater good.
Create an environment of trust.
Seek different perspectives.
Achieve excellence.
This is our energy in action.
We really have to be ready for what the future holds.
To make sure that we understand what challenges will be coming to Phillips 66.
The list goes on things that we're going to be able to accomplish, and quite frankly, I don't even know that we know all of the things that we can accomplish. We can achieve much greater things.
So I actually started my fellowship with Booz Allen Hamilton on the military recruiting team. The fellowship was the first time where the military spouse identity that I had been carrying that almost felt like a burden, felt like a shiny gold cape. It was for the first time on its own a value add that I didn't have to explain. It was just me, Kimmy, and what I brought professionally. And that is not a dynamic that I have experienced at all since I've been part of the military world. And that was game-changing for me.
You don't just get to see the resume, you get to see the person. And this is an opportunity to really get to know individuals who are part of this fellowship program for everything that they bring.
The things you just pick up naturally in the military lifestyle, like planning, management, prioritizing, all of that can be distilled into legitimate business processing.
Her ability to take this fellowship as a springboard to realize more potential has been incredibly exciting for us both.
We didn't even realize how much overall family security we were going to gain by me working. The doors that have opened for retirement, paying for school for our future children, so many other things that were definitely a lot more stressful have just now presented themselves with more ease. The dynamic in the household had already changed of me being a lot more happy, fulfilled, having my own identity.
It's an opportunity to create your own path, not your spouse's path.
Now I have the capability of being the provider for the family or growing within that role and maybe even transitioning out of the traditional roles we've been holding. It's a totally different discussion we have when we come together about that.
It leaves me extremely grateful to hiring our heroes for these opportunities and for our family.
That is the peace of mind we were not able to predict. We had not foreseen would be a dynamic between us. And it's a type of feeling that I wish everybody could have. It just lets you sleep just that much better at night.
Hi, I'm Brian Mandel, Executive Vice President of Marketing and Commercial at Phillips 66, and I'm honored to be speaking to you tonight. First, I want to start by saying thank you to all the current and past service members in attendance this evening for your service to our country and its people. At Phillips 66, we hold our veterans in the highest esteem, and believe it's our responsibility to take care of the people who take care of our country. So we strongly support Hiring Our Heroes mission to help veterans, service members, and their spouses find meaningful employment. To help support that mission, we're committed to seeking out and hiring veterans as we continually build a diverse and talented workforce. I've had the privilege of working with many veteran hires at Phillips 66, so I speak from firsthand experience when I say, vets push us to be better, to aim higher, and to achieve more than we could without their unique perspective and experience. Our company culture is one where veterans feel at home. This is true, I think, because we have a set of behaviors that guide how we work together. Behaviors that are deeply rooted in values similar to those in the military. These behaviors, called our energy in action, direct us to work for the greater good, create an environment of trust, seek different perspectives, and achieve excellence. The video you are about to watch highlights these behaviors and perhaps gives you a little insight as to why veterans feel at home at Phillips 66. Again, I want to thank each of you for your service, and I hope you enjoy tonight's celebration.
I hope everyone enjoyed their break. On my end, the pizza was pretty good. Hopefully I'm not wearing any of it. I hope you had a chance to stretch your legs. You know, one of the things that makes virtual events so tough is that you really don't get the human interaction that you do for in-person events. And I know for the entire Hiring Our Heroes team, that personal interaction, that friendship, and those relationships mean everything. And so while we're not able to be there in person, I know that the entire Hiring Our Heroes team would like to just take a second to thank you for your support and your commitment, and importantly, say hi.
May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in your being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead from the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get to rest, may you catch your breath. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. May the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh. Well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. Change. Here's to the infinite possible view. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 You to have it all you can imagine. Oh, no matter what your path is, if you believe it, then anything can happen. Go, 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 raise your glasses. Go, 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 you can have it all.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Paralympic gold medal athlete Lieutenant Brad Snyder and Brigadier General retired Carol Eggert from Comcast NBC Universal to present the Wounded Warrior and Caregiver Employment Award.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Snyder. You might recognize me from the 2012 Paralympics or maybe the 2016 Paralympics. I had the opportunity to join Team USA both in 2012 and 2016, and during that process, won 5 gold medals and set a world record in the process. And that world record had stood for 30 years. And the great news is it's been 4 now, and that event won't be competed at Tokyo next year. So hopefully it'll be another 4 as well. Something I should also tell you is I'm a proud Navy veteran. I served 7 years as an EOD officer in the Navy, deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, and that's actually how I became eligible for the Paralympics by getting injured in 2011. Tonight, I want to share a few remarks. I'd be remiss if I didn't address the fact that we're in a very strange situation right now. I remember very distinctly being on a podium at the Chamber of Commerce last year, being able to host this gala, and then the fact we're doing it remote this year is a testament to the fact that it's a strange world out there right now. But I think that we can learn something a little bit from the veterans and the heroes that we're honoring this evening, and looking at their example on how do we navigate this space. While a lot of people are accustomed to their workplace being a warehouse or maybe an office or something to that effect, the notions of uncertainty or adversity are exactly the workplace of the veteran. Every time we go to somewhere like Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, or wherever else, we're stepping into the world of adversity, the world of uncertainty, and we've spent a lot of time training and figuring out how to navigate that space. So I think we can look to that example to figure out or gain some inspiration on how we can get through these trying times. And there's 2 thoughts that I want to put forth for you this evening, and they're gratitude and ownership. On the subject of gratitude, I remember waking up in the hospital, shortly after my injury, and really being thankful to still be alive. I think a lot of people look at my story, a story of being able to go from being hurt in Afghanistan to winning a gold medal in the Paralympics, and they look at that and say, wow, it's so incredible that you conquered blindness. But for me, it's not really how the story unfolded. When I got hurt in Afghanistan for quite a while, I thought that I had actually died. And I laid on a field in Afghanistan and really, in effect, reconciled my own death and was happy with the life that I had lived and was ready to pass on. But when I woke up in that hospital, I realized I was still alive, and I still had 4 limbs that worked, a heart that worked, a brain that worked, a family that loved me, and an endless set of opportunities in front of me to make the most of what I had left. And I was very, very grateful for that opportunity. So I say that to say, while a lot of people on the outside were looking at this notion of how was I going to deal with being blind, for me, the dealing with the blind part was a very small component of the whole story. I was just very thankful to be alive. And I share that with you to say, no matter what the external circumstances are, there's often a way that you can reframe your perspective and find gratitude for what you still have. Now, that can get more and more difficult as the external circumstances become more and more challenging, the more adversity that you put up with. That's why I wanted to offer an anecdote that goes way back further than my experiences on the battlefield of Afghanistan. And I wanted to share a story about a guy named King Leonidas. The story of the Spartans at Thermopylae is a very famous story and was made into a movie a few years ago called 300, where Gerard Butler is this, he plays King Leonidas, but it's an old story going back to something like 500 BC or so. And the story goes like this, where 300 Spartans decided that they needed to go to this place called Thermopylae to defend the whole state of Greece from an incoming Persian invasion of a supposed 1 million person army. And these 300 Spartans knew that there was no chance that they would be victorious over this 1 million person army, but they knew that they were the only hope to hold off that force for long enough for Greece to defend their country. So when King Leonidas was getting his troops ready to go into battle, someone asked him, why are you guys all doing this? And why would a soldier prefer to go die in battle and die an honorable death versus live and be dishonored? Because it was construed by the Spartans that if they were not to fight, it would be construed as shameful or dishonorable. And non-soldiers didn't understand why living with dishonor would be so bad. And King Leonidas looked at that person and said, look, life and death are the gifts of nature, but honor is uniquely your own. And I thought that was such a really great quote about there are things that no one can take away. There are things like honor, gratitude, happiness that no one can ever take away. And regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the challenges, regardless of pandemics or presidential races or whatever else, no one can take away your honor. No one can take away your courage. No one can take away your happiness. Those things are uniquely your own. And it's the example of our veterans we can look to help us understand those grander concepts and help us get through our trying circumstances that we find ourselves in today. It's been a great honor of mine to be able to represent Hiring Our Heroes and Toyota and Comcast. And a lot of the discourse that we have in that environment is how do we translate the virtues and the values of our military veterans and service members to finding new fulfilling jobs within the corporate world. I think this is a really, really great opportunity and a great situation for our communities to come together. Ask a veteran about their experiences. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the fact that as we're celebrating this evening in this remote gala, as we speak, US service members are deployed around the world in submarines, on aircraft, on the front lines, keeping us safe. And we owe them a debt of gratitude, but also we should ask them, how do they deal with those difficult situations? Being on a submarine for 6 months at a time, or being at the front lines is really challenging. And our veterans have learned a lot about how to get through adversity. So I think that's a great thing we can take away from tonight is not only should you ask or thank a vet for their service, but ask them, how did you do it? And I think there's some great things that we can learn. So that wraps up my remarks from tonight. If you take away 2 things from what I've said tonight, be grateful and own your reality. Own your reality and be grateful for what you have. Now, it's my distinct honor to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker is the Senior Vice President for Military and Veteran Affairs at Comcast NBC Universal. What that title doesn't tell you is that she's dedicated over 30 years to empowering veterans, to empowering women, and empowering our community. It's my honor to introduce to you this evening, Carol Eggert.
Well, thank you, Brad. But let me tell you, it is my honor to be here with you. I have admired you from the first day I met you, from when you came up to Comcast and spoke to our folks, for what you've done in the Olympics. And just to respond to the remarks you just made, emphasizing what people can't take from you. I've often said that about service when I advise young service members. I say, invest in yourself. You can lose everything, and you've been in a combat zone. You know what our folks lose, but you can't lose your investment in yourself. So always put that first, your education, challenging yourself, just like you've done, Brad. That's why you're such an incredible role model, and I'm just thrilled to be here with you tonight.
Thank you, Carol. Ditto.
And now it is my honor to announce the nominees for the Wounded Veteran and Caregiver Employment Award. It's so important that our organizations support this unique group of our veterans and our caregivers. They have unique challenges and therefore require unique support. So it's my honor to announce that the nominees are Northrop Grumman, the United States Postal Service, and the Veterans Village of San Diego. And now it's my honor to announce the recipient of the Wounded Veteran and Caregiver Employment Award, and that is the United States Postal Service.
Thank you, Carol and Brad, for your kind welcome and for all you are doing for our veterans every day. Hello, I am Louis DeJoy. I am honored to serve as the 75th Postmaster General of the United States of America. It is a great privilege to accept this award on behalf of all the 630,000 women and men of the Postal Service. We are one of the country's largest civilian employers of veterans. In fact, more than 100,000 current and former military personnel continue their service to the nation by working at the Postal Service. We have long recognized the skills that veterans bring to the table. They have a fantastic work ethic. They're disciplined and resilient. They solve problems and deliver results. They are the kind of people you want on your team. We are grateful for everything they do to help us fulfill our core mission to bind the nation together. It is especially true this year as we continue to deliver for the nation through the pandemic. Not to mention the challenges presented by hurricanes, wildfires, and other emergencies. You will see that commitment to service as we enter the holidays, the busiest time of the year for the Postal Service. Thank you again for this wonderful recognition. All of us at the Postal Service wish you the best of the holiday season, and to all of our veterans, thank you for your service.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to present the 2020 Colonel Michael Enders Leadership Award for Individual Excellence in Veteran and Military Spouse Employment for an individual who has gone above and beyond to make a difference in employment opportunities for our veterans, transitioning service members, and spouses. Michael was always one to acknowledge those who went above and beyond their call of duty. And so it is with my great pleasure to recognize the finalists for tonight's award. Jim Beamisturfer, Prudential Financial. Courtney Brown from Maximus. Michael Emler, First Command Financial Services. And Hal Pittman, Arizona Public Service. So it's with great delight that I present the 2020 Colonel Michael Enders Leadership Award for Individual Excellence in Veteran and Military Spouse Employment to Mr. Jim Beamisturfer from Prudential Financial.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, Cheryl. It's an honor to be a finalist for this award and humbling to be the recipient. I never knew Michael, but I've heard so much about him from so many who did. I only hope I can live up to the standards he set and the leadership that he exuded. It's not about me and anything that I did personally. It's about we and what we can accomplish together. The work we have accomplished was achieved through collaboration, and that is the same means we will carry on with the work yet to be done. I would like to thank Prudential for giving me the opportunity to do this work and entrusting me with the resources to do it. I'd also like to thank my colleagues at Prudential for their tireless work helping military talent find meaningful careers. Thank you so much. This is incredible. Now, while I'm up here, I have another role to play, and tonight that role is to present an award. The 2020 Steve Robinson Post 9/11 Veteran Employment Award. It's an honor and a privilege to be here again and announce and present this award. Prudential is working hard to carry on Steve's legacy, taking care of veterans with programs that provide meaningful employment opportunities to the brave men and women that have served our country. It is now our turn to serve them. I know he would be equally proud of the emphasis we are now placing on helping military spouses and women veterans. Steve's passion and service towards improving the lives of veterans has set the example for all of us to follow. One way for us to remember his legacy and truly say thank you for all of his blood, sweat, and tears serving veterans is for us to carry on his work, helping post 9/11 service members gain meaningful employment. This award recognizes effective and sustained efforts to enhance the ability of post 9/11 veterans and transitioning service members to find meaningful employment through innovative programs. A few key words: effective, sustained, and meaningful employment. Tonight, we are here to honor a company that has led the way helping post 9/11 veterans gain meaningful employment through innovative programs. This year's nominees for the 2020 Steve Robinson Post 9/11 Veteran Employment Award are Deloitte, Indeed, Lockheed Martin, and Salesforce. Please roll the video of the winning company.
my goodness. Thank you, Jim. I'm so honored to accept this award on behalf of Salesforce. The work we do, it only happens because of collaboration. So I want to thank the Salesforce customers and partners around the world that hire our military talent. I want to thank our nonprofit partners like Hiring Our Heroes that play such a critical role in reaching the military community and letting them know about our program. But mostly I want to thank our trailblazers, the veterans and military spouses that are in our program. Salesforce tech jobs are such a great fit for the military community. And these folks are now set on a path to high paying and rewarding jobs, and the demand is only growing. So cheers to military talent and tech. And thank you, Hiring Our Heroes, for this incredible recognition.
It's good to see everyone again. I hope you're having fun and enjoying the evening. We're almost at a close, but we have 2 more special awards to present before we wrap things up. The next award is our Top Employer Award. It's the Lee Anderson Veteran and Military Spouse Employment Award. It recognizes a company that has made tremendous strides when it comes to the employment and the retention of veterans and military spouses in their workforce. We have 4 companies, all of whom are incredibly deserving of this award. Please join me in welcoming Amazon, Ecolab, Pentagon Federal Credit Union, and Wells Fargo. And the winner is, drum roll please, Amazon. On behalf of Amazon, John Quintus will accept this year's Lee Anderson Veteran and Military Spouse Employment Award.
Thank you very much, Eric. It's truly an honor to accept such a prestigious award on behalf of Amazon. If I may, I'd like to start by saying that it's been a very challenging year for all Americans, for the globe, and certainly for the military veteran community as we've responded to the global pandemic, COVID. I'm proud to be part of the Amazon team that was postured to speedily respond to customer needs with both, critical needs and household goods to help them remain safe and secure at home. And that we provided a very safe working environment for our employees, which led to a record hiring year and opportunities for those veterans that were in transition. Our accomplishments this year were truly a team effort, and we value our friends like Hiring Our Heroes that have helped us make our success this year possible. I'm also extremely proud that I get to lead a great team at Amazon that obsesses daily about our customers, these veterans, and how they just rapidly responded to the challenges presented by COVID, demonstrating great flexibility and meeting their needs. And we're not done. We're very, very excited about 2021. We're excited about expanding our partnership with you, Eric, and the team there at Hiring Our Heroes. So more work to do, and I look forward to doing it together.
Congratulations, John. Hiring Our Heroes is honored to work with Amazon and your team across the country as you bring in military talent to your workforce. Congratulations. It's now the final award for the evening, the President's Award for Lifetime Achievement. The President's Award recognizes an individual, or in tonight's case, individuals who have made a long-lasting and an incredibly impactful difference in the lives of our service members and their families, especially when it comes to employment. Tonight, to help me introduce Howard and Sherry Schultz, please join me in welcoming Master Sergeant Retired and Medal of Honor recipient, Leroy Petrie.
Thank you, Eric, for that introduction, and thank you, Hiring Our Heroes, for all that you do to support our men and women. A special thank you to Howard and Sherry Schultz, who we're honoring here tonight. For the past decade, you've supported our men and women as they prepare to transition into the next phase of their life. Thank you for your continued support. I remember the first time you welcomed me into your home, and you inspired me when you told your friends that night of your plan to support our men and women in uniform and their transition into the next phase of their life. I am still inspired today knowing that you continue to be a part of this team in supporting our men and women be the utmost prepared to take that next step. I could talk on and on about all the great things you're doing, but we have a short video that says it all.
Howard and Sherry Schultz understood from the very beginning, military families, they don't want just a job. They want purpose in what they do.
They know they've been fortunate in life, and they are all about giving back.
Through their philanthropy, they've driven and pushed all of us to be better at serving those who have worn our nation's uniform.
Howard and Sherry's journey to supporting our nation's post 9/11 veterans in their transition to civilian life is really an unlikely one. Howard invited Secretary Robert Gates to the Starbucks headquarters to try to convince Secretary Gates to join Starbucks' board of directors. Instead of talking about the coffee business and retail, they wound up talking about post 9/11 service members. And that really started to catalyze in Howard a desire to learn more about our service members and to start to ask himself, what can I do as a business leader? What can I do as a philanthropist and a citizen to make a difference?
I was very impressed by, as somebody who had led large organizations, by how well Starbucks treated people, and that showed me that a corporation could be very successful in business and still do very well by their employees.
At the Starbucks headquarters, every few weeks brings a different guest speaker. One day, Howard sort of noticed a crowd, and the speaker that day was Staff Sergeant Leroy Petrie, one of our nation's Medal of Honor awardees. And Howard was just blown away by Leroy's story.
They said, do you want to meet Howard Schultz? He actually brought me into his office and closed the door, and we had a good long conversation. And he said, Leroy, I don't want you to just talk to my veterans. I want you to talk to all the Starbucks employees.
And that friendship that started to blossom with Leroy really was instrumental in a personal level that would take Howard and Sherry on this remarkable journey. Sherry was building up the Schultz Family Foundation. She's somebody who's a passionate advocate for young people from disadvantaged backgrounds who she knows have great potential for success in their lives.
She has taken that foundation and spearheaded it in the direction that it's been going, and it continues to grow and it continues to do amazing things.
I find that the work that Howard and Sherry are doing, particularly with young people and with veterans, to be incredibly inspiring. The ability and the willingness of people like Howard and Sherry to step up and make their own contribution inspires others who have the resources to get involved.
They saw the trepidation in those military families' lives of transitioning into their civilian life. Most of that had to do with jobs and job placement, career progression.
The Schultz Family Foundation and the IVMF worked together to turn the idea of transition assistance and career preparation into a program that has impacted 50,000 lives in 5 years. Onward to Opportunity certainly demonstrates Howard and Sherry's pioneering approach and innovation to creating a national movement around how this country and corporate America can impact the lives of transitioning service members and their families.
These nonprofits that are filling the gaps, such as Hiring Our Heroes, that are setting our troops up for success as they transition out of the military.
I found out about Onward to Opportunity going into the Transition Assistance Program office. Onward to Opportunity was different because it wasn't just geared towards giving you a class. It went a step further and not only give you access to this training for free, but then I'm going to also ensure that you have the certification. That's the equalizer, right? That levels the playing field. In my career field, it typically takes people 10, 15, and 20 years to be where I am today. And I attribute that to the Army in my career, myself of course, but the opportunities that I've had within the program.
For me, transitioning out of the military was a scary idea. Going through the Hiring Our Heroes Fellowship Program definitely opened up a lot more opportunities. With the program, I was able to land a job at a company that I greatly desired to be at. I realized how difficult it was for others as they left the military and they didn't leverage this sort of program. My future plans is to give back to the community that raised me.
On behalf of myself, my family, my friends, my colleagues, and veterans, I'd like to thank the Schultz family for creating an opportunity, for giving us an option. Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Schultz, I am incredibly thankful for what you've done for us.
On behalf of all of us here at the Institute for Veterans and Military Families at Syracuse University, congratulations on this most well-deserved honor.
From my military home to your foundation, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I just want to personally congratulate Howard and Sherry. You're an inspiration to all of us.
Howard and Sherry, congratulations on a job well done. We are honored to present you with the 2020 Hiring Our Heroes President's Award for Lifetime Achievement. Please join me in welcoming this year's recipients of the 2020 Hiring Our Heroes President's Award for Lifetime Achievement, Howard and Sherry Schultz.
Good evening. On behalf of Sherry and myself, I want to thank Eric Eversole and our good friend, Sergeant Petrie, and of course the extraordinary organization, Hiring Our Heroes, for this recognition. I said to Sherry when we heard that you would be bestowing this award on us, that we didn't do this for any recognition. In fact, it's somewhat humbling to think that we are doing work on behalf of veterans and their families and being recognized for it. We have gotten so much more out of this than we have given. The work that Starbucks has done, the work that the Family Foundation has done, has all been skewed to the fact that we recognize more than ever that the country and every citizen has a moral obligation to do everything we can, not only to support the men and women who wear the cloth of the nation when they're serving our country, but when they're coming home. And so it's with great humility that we say thank you for the opportunity, more than anything else, to thank you. Thank the Chamber of Commerce, Hiring Our Heroes, and all of you who are here tonight for the extraordinary work that you do behind the scenes every day. You're the heroes, and we're just pleased to be part of it. So thank you so much.
We're keenly aware that the transition for men and women returning from the military may not be an easy one. Howard and I feel so fortunate with the Schultz Family Foundation to have been able to partner with nonprofits like yours. Our work with young men and women returning from the military to civilian life is so important to us because we believe that we prepared you to go to war and protect our rights and our liberties, and now it's our job and responsibility to bring you home and keep you safe and help you make the transition into civilian life.
One of the things that people have asked us is, why did you get involved with veterans? And we've had the great fortune of the friendship of Secretary Gates, General Corelli, but there was an incident that really was the catalyst for the passion we had and the emotional impact we have felt around this work. And that happened at Joint Base Lewis McChord. Sure, do you want to tell the story?
We were on the base and we were just talking to men and women that had come back from deployments, and one young 21-year-old was about to consider leaving the military and coming back into civilian life, and was honest with us and shared a story that he was more nervous about a job interview than he was about re-enlisting for another deployment. I think that was the turning point for us to understand that we had a job to do. And that was helping young men and women transition from the military to civilian life.
As I said earlier, we have received much more than we've given. And we're so fortunate to be part of your community. Thank the Chamber of Commerce, Hiring Our Heroes, and all of you for all that you do. We're grateful for this honor, and we will continue to do all we can to support the men and women in uniform. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Howard and Sherry. As a leader of one nonprofit that has benefited tremendously from your generosity. Let me thank you from the bottom of my heart for your passion, commitment, and dedication to our service members and their families. It's making an incredible difference. That really brings us to the end of tonight's festivities. I hope everyone had a little bit of fun and had a chance to reflect on some of the amazing work that we were able to accomplish together, notwithstanding the challenging circumstances that this year has brought us. As we think about next year and the work in front of us, please know that Hiring Our Heroes and our entire team will be there with you each step of the way. We look forward to an incredible 2021 with you, and we hope that you and your families have a wonderful Thanksgiving and holiday season. Be well and be safe, and see you in 2021.